me, you know, and we've been winning together, you know. He had a chance to actually look deep inside of him. He's been doing it since he was so little, you know.
Yeah.
And hiccups come, but that teach you how to be a man, you know. It taught us a lot of things about each one of ourselves, you know. So me being,
because you know, he worked with other coaches, so you know.
Yeah.
But I do know how the fight will be different. The rematch.
With a different strategy.
Yeah, I can't speak on it, but yeah, it's definitely going to be different. Way different.
See, you're smiling and you're excited about it, and you can tell that that's like a coaching thing. You know that a lot of the fans, they tend to get.
Calvin Ford has explained why he isn't leading Gervonta "Tank" Davis's training for the upcoming rematch with Lamont Roach. The fight has already sparked a lot of talk, from rumors about Tank possibly pulling out, to claims that he's just chasing one last big payday. So when fans noticed Ford wasn't at the center of Tank's training camp, it raised some questions, but Ford stepped in to clear things up and make sure everyone understands what's really going on behind the scenes.
I mean, Roach should have won the first one. He got robbed because that should have been a knockdown, and the commission messed that up. But in the rematch, I like Tank in a good fight.
In a recent interview, Calvin Ford explained that his role with Gervonta "Tank" Davis is changing, but not because of any problems. He's not stepping back out of frustration. Instead, he's taking on more of a leadership and oversight role. Ford said he's already laid the foundation by training Davis for years. Now, it's about letting the team around Tank take on more responsibility. He pointed out that Davis is a mature, experienced fighter who knows how to get ready for big fights and doesn't need constant guidance. According to Ford, this shift isn't a sign of tension, it's a strategic decision. He fully trusts the process, the team, and most importantly, Davis himself.
The rematch with Roach versus Gervonta can actually be more exciting than the first one. In my opinion, I've said this many times, the actual fight itself wasn't that crazy. The crazy thing is what you've never seen before, the knee. But as far as a boxing match, it was, if you look at the copy box, they didn't throw a lot of punches. It wasn't like, it wasn't really a great fight. But as far as the fight itself, the second one can't, because I think Tank is coming for blood. He's not going to pull his punches at all. I don't think he really did the first time, but I'm not sure how well he prepared.
Right now, there are rumors that Gervonta "Tank" Davis might cancel his rematch, and coach Kenny Ellis isn't shying away from the topic. In an interview with Fight Hype, Ellis spoke honestly about the situation. He said if Tank decides to walk away from boxing tomorrow, he'll respect that decision. It's not his place to pressure him. According to Ellis, every fighter has to find their own way. At the moment, even Ellis admits it's hard to tell where Davis's mindset is. He believes Tank still loves boxing and isn't afraid of anyone, but motivation can shift. Ellis made it clear, only Davis can decide what's next. There's no sugarcoating it. He simply acknowledged the uncertainty and said Tank has to stand on his own now.
The rematch, champ.
Like a champ, like I'm supposed to. I've been in the gym, I've been ready. Time to ramp it up, kick it in gear, and get right to work.
I'm gonna ask you a quick question about the fight. The first fight with Tank. What did you see in that fight that can help you propel into the next fight?
I saw all I needed to see in that first fight. Trust me. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. Obviously, I didn't do enough to win, so I'm gonna make sure we do.
Lamont Roach hasn't been quiet about the current situation. He's openly doubting whether Gervonta "Tank" Davis will follow through with their planned rematch. Roach has expressed real frustration, saying he feels he was robbed in their first fight and wants a fair outcome this time. After his camp's appeal of the decision didn't go anywhere, they pushed hard for a second bout. But with talks slowing down, Roach is now questioning if Davis ever intended to fight again. On social media, he called out the delays, accusing Tank of backing out and using excuses to avoid the rematch. Roach believes the stalling is intentional and says Davis isn't holding up his side of the deal. He's telling fans to stay tuned, hinting that the situation may still get even more dramatic.
Since the word has been floating around, the rematch is happening for sure. Just keep an eye out for August. There's a date floating around that might very well be that date. I can assure you guys that it's coming this summer for sure.
My man, you just made my day saying that, man. And I'm telling you, I beg to differ with regard to what took place. So let me just say you're the champ.
Adding to the ongoing drama is a new rumor, a possible fight between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. This potential matchup is turning heads for all kinds of reasons. Jake Paul, known for his transition from YouTuber to boxer, fights at cruiserweight, much heavier than Davis, who competes at 135 pounds. It's far from a typical pairing, but the financial incentive is hard to ignore. A fight like this could bring in huge money, and that kind of payday might be enough to make Davis reconsider his current plans and priorities.
The tweet today that Tank Davis said, he said y'all can have the crown, he don't want it. That scared me a little bit. I'm a big Tank fan, you know what I'm saying? That scared me a little bit. We got the fire in his stomach after what happened, but I'm going Tank. I believe he the best at it. I wonder if he's still hungry though, you know what I'm saying? I'm going Tank.
Eddie Hearn has already spoken publicly about the potential fight, saying he believes Gervonta Davis is likely to face Jake Paul in November. If that bout happens, it would be a clear signal that Davis is shifting his focus, and not just in terms of opponents, but priorities too. For Lamont Roach, who's been waiting patiently for a rematch, this could be a serious blow. He might be left out entirely, despite pushing hard for a second fight after the controversial draw. And for Davis, the move could hurt his reputation. Many would see it as turning away from a real challenge in favor of a big payday.
You call a heavy-handed fighter, but Jason, if you watch this fight, you'll see a guy that's very slick, who's very confident, and this is the dynamic I think all of us did not take enough account into. Tank is from the DC, Baltimore area, as is Lamont Roach. They have sparred together, they've had amateur bouts together, and when I spoke to Lamont, when there were rumors about this bout, he told me flat out, he goes, Steve, I know this.
Keyshawn Davis, the undefeated lightweight prospect and current WBO champion, weighed in during an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show. He shared his honest thoughts on Gervonta "Tank" Davis, suggesting that Tank may be more interested in chasing a high-profile fight with Jake Paul than taking on top contenders in the lightweight division. According to Keyshawn, it doesn't look like Tank is focused on facing the best in his weight class anymore. Instead, he believes Davis wants to take a different path, one that's more about spectacle than legacy.
To go out there and just go ahead and do what you got to do with Lamont. Go do what you got to do. Man, knock him out, man. Go in there and be aggressive, man. Man, quit with your, I get you trying to read opponents, man, but man, give it your all and just go crazy, man. Just go crazy. Switch up the game plan on that one, because you know what you're trying to do. Switch it up. So, as far as retirement, Tank has already proved himself. He's already made the money he needed.
Keyshawn Davis believes that Gervonta Davis wants to handle the rematch with Lamont Roach quickly, then move on to something with bigger commercial appeal, like a fight with Jake Paul or even a WWE-style crossover event. Keyshawn wasn't critical. In fact, he said a bout with Paul could actually benefit boxing by bringing in a wider audience. Still, his remarks made one thing clear: many fighters in the lightweight division don't see Tank sticking around much longer. They view him as a star who's already planning his exit, possibly eyeing one last major payday before calling it a career. Gervonta "Tank" Davis has recently hinted that retirement may be on the horizon. In multiple interviews, he's spoken about how demanding the sport is and has said more than once that he might walk away sooner than people expect. If that's the case, a big money fight with Jake Paul starts to make sense. It would generate huge pay-per-view numbers, draw major media coverage, and come without the pressures of defending titles or facing mandatory challengers. But for many boxing fans, the idea of Tank stepping away from real competition in favor of a spectacle fight is disappointing. It feels like the sport could lose one of its most talented stars just as he reaches his peak.
Matches that you fought? 0. What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again? Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room. You believe you fought the best Gervonta, or do you think he got some more gears? 100% for a fact. I think he might have some more gears, but I fought the best Gervonta that night.
The lightweight division is full of talent right now. With names like Gervonta "Tank" Davis, Keyshawn Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Lamont Roach, William Zepeda, and possibly even Vasily Lomachenko if he continues, there's potential for a golden era, something like a modern-day Six Kings. But despite all the star power, the matchups fans really want to see aren't happening often enough. While Stevenson and Zepeda are scheduled to face off soon, the rest of the top fighters seem stuck in limbo. If Tank decides to step away now, it wouldn't just disappoint fans, it would be a major setback for the entire division. The excitement, competition, and momentum could all take a serious hit.
You think one coming up with
I
Tank
hope he
and
don't
Roach?
fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just gonna look bad on the fight with me. So it's gonna look like somebody else already did it.
You want Tank to knock you out, yo? I didn't say like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
look, that sound good. That sound real good, but she's too little.
Too little.
I promise.
The lightweight division is packed with real talent, but time is ticking. If the top contenders don't start fighting each other soon, the division could miss its golden opportunity. Right now, all eyes are on Gervonta Davis. If he follows through with the rematch against Lamont Roach, it might show that he's still driven and has something to prove. But if he skips it and heads into a fight with Jake Paul instead, it sends a different message, that he's prioritizing the business side over championship goals, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Boxing is a career, and fighters have every right to chase the biggest paydays. But for fans hoping to see legacy-defining matchups at 135, it would feel like a missed chance.
Chant like I'm supposed to. I've been in the gym. I've been ready. Time to ramp it up, kick it in gear, and get right to work.
I'm asking you a quick question about the fight. The first fight with Tank. What did you see in that fight that can help you propel into the next fight?
I saw all I needed to see in that first fight. Trust me. I'm gonna go back to the drawing board. Obviously, I didn't do enough to win, so I'm gonna make sure we do more than enough to win.